Will Smith hit Chris Rock at the 94th Academy Awards. He came up on stage. No one stopped him. He slapped Chris Rock hard enough to make his head turn completely to one side. Mr. Rock and the audience went completely silent for 15 seconds. Will Smith was not silent. While he returned to his seat, he was swearing at Mr. Rock, telling him not to make comments about his wife. Why did this happen? Mr. Rock had made a joke about Mr. Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who has a shaved head. He made a comment about her and the G.I. Jane movie. Ms. Pinkett Smith has alopecia areata and has come out to the greater public about her struggles and that this disease results in hair loss. Having someone you care about, having a joke made out of something that was a serious problem would make most people angry. But being angry and hitting someone are different things. We all get angry. But starting in early childhood, developmental research advises parents to teach their children to talk about their feelings, not act them out. But we do need help to learn these skills. How do we learn self-control? When babies are uncomfortable, they cry. When toddlers want something, they may scream and kick their feet. Common parenting advice is to kindly but firmly say no to kicking, slapping, hitting. Adults are to say, use your mouth, not your body, and talk about what is wrong. When parents have asked me, how many times do I have to, I have to give the unsatisfying but accurate advice as many times as it takes. Not all children learn at the same pace, and certain skills are harder for some children than others. Not all children get as much help as others learning these skills, so they struggle with them. Sometimes adults go overboard, and young people become so focused on being in control at all times that they become unaware of and unable to recognize the feelings that they're having until maybe they become so strong they can't be controlled. Some children and teens do not get the help they need, and we do need help to learn these skills. When emotions get high, what do? Common advice to older children, teens, or adults is to take 10 deep breaths and then think about what they might do. Sometimes they need to remove themselves from the situation, maybe exercise until their emotions come down. Maybe they need to read a favorite book. Maybe they need to listen to music until they feel calmer. Once calm, though, they need to think through what to do about the situation that made them so angry or so fearful or so shocked. As we grow up, the older children and adults around us can serve as examples, as hopefully are active helpers in learning to understand and control our emotions. Most of the time, young people are especially pushed to be in control of their feelings and anger when they're out in public. In certain public spaces, like religious institutions, schools, or at large events like the Academy Awards, there is increased social pressure to sit still and follow established event behavior. Rules like don't cut in line, wait your turn, don't push, should be well ingrained in our minds as adults. But we all need help to learn these skills. We can't always control ourselves. Our non-fatal injury data for the year 2019-2020 showed that 657,814,076 cases of reported non-fatal injury were logged in. 12% were caused by someone being struck by someone else. If Mr. Rock had filed a police report, it would have been taken seriously as an assault. Who is most likely to lose control? People who've been raised with abuse, neglect, sexual assault, discrimination, racism, street violence, or other forms of violence are much more likely to view violent actions as typical and the appropriate response to problems. There are 11 to 15% of us in the United States who have seen or experienced so much childhood adversity that they would not have been frozen when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. For some, it might have been funny. On the other hand, if you have been hit and sworn at and treated like you were dirt, either hearing Mr. Rock's joke or seeing Mr. Smith's slap could have brought up memories of your own pain and suffering, or even triggered trauma symptoms. Why does a specific person lose control? More than 30 years of research has told us that those who have been aggressive or violent in the past are most likely to be aggressive or violent now or in the future. However, this isn't necessarily true for a specific individual. The environment we are in can have a significant impact on how we behave. Chris Rock was not just making jokes anywhere. He was up on a stage at an event that it could have made all the actors and actresses in the audience have major adrenaline rushes as they waited in suspense to know if they'd won an award. Adrenaline surges can make it harder to maintain self-control. We all need help learning to control ourselves when our adrenaline is high. Large crowds can make us feel anonymous and make us just act like other people in the crowd. On the other hand, at the Academy Awards, all heads may have turned towards Mr. Smith and Miss Jada Pinkett Smith. Feeling watched, especially if we are feeling judged or criticized, can also increase our adrenaline and make it more difficult to have self-control. We all need help learning how to understand and respond to these situations. Not everyone who loses control is part of that 11 to 15% of us who have histories of significant childhood adversity. However, having had such a history makes it much more likely that adults in our lives haven't provided us with the support we needed to learn to control our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors.